So, welcome to the Asterysk podcast. This is episode 2, and my name is Rodney. And what this podcast is all about is that I interview really cool people who are like super passionate and like specialize in whatever they really enjoy doing. And today we have a really special guest, James East, aka YOLOFlow7. So, please introduce yourself and tell what you like to do.
Hi, I'm James. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I do parkour. That's pretty much it. Yep.
Um, how would you like explain parkour to like a mainstream audience?
I would say parkour, you could describe it just by saying movement like with a specific intention to do something, like so moving with intention. I've heard other people describe it like that too before. It's super vague, but anything like other definitions don't capture it fully in my opinion. Like point A to point B, obviously, we know that one's not good. Like flips, twists, and jumps is like there's definitely more to it than that. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
for
Moving
sure.
with intention is super vague, but I think it captures like everything you could think of in parkour. So yep.
So how long you been doing parkour for? And like tell like your entire journey just through like movement in general.
I've been doing parkour for like 7.5 years since the beginning of 2013. Well, I started with tricking. So I went to a gym that a lot of people used to go there. It used to be really popular. Dodo freerunning, that was their gym in Massachusetts. So I started there, took tricking classes for like a couple years. Then I pretty much like didn't need instruction anymore and just started like training during class. So I would do that. I would go on the grass all the time, trap all the time, but basically still only did like tricking. So there's that. And then in 2015 or 2016, that gym closed, which was extremely sad. So then I went to another gym, and that is where most people did free running. So I got exposed to a lot more people who just only did like free running and shit, like castbacks. Um, just yeah, I didn't really pay attention when people did free running at the old gym, but at the new gym, like it was pretty hard to avoid. Like pretty much everybody there was only doing free run. I was the only tricker, so I just inevitably started doing like certain moves like casts and gates and stuff. Um, and it just went from there pretty much. And I've just been going to other gyms and training outside a lot since then. That's pretty much it. That's how I ended up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so crazy. Like you can literally just pull up a gate like from any spot. It's just so cool. Um,
Train that move a lot. Yeah. I think part of
uh,
it too that was good for me was I always trained with people that were like so good. Like I've been training with Ethan Klickstein since pretty much when I started, or maybe a year after I started. And like Sean was always at the gym, Alfred was always at the gym. Like
oh
I,
yeah.
I saw Z around sometimes. Those people, yeah, obviously that helped a lot. Just seeing what other people could do, and therefore what I could potentially do as well. So that helped.
Um, Obviously your name's YOLOFlow7. I know that it's inspired from Solo Flow, but did you know Solomon or Richie personally?
Yeah, Solomon used to live in Boston actually, so
Okay.
I used to train with that dude. Yeah, I lost odds to make my name that, and then I just thought it was funny, so I kept it. Yep.
I got kind of a funny story actually. So for the longest time, I followed two Instagram accounts. One's called YOLOFlow7, and then one's called James underscore Northeast.
Yeah,
And for the longest time, I thought there were two different people because
dude.
YOLOFlow7's doing these crazy free running tricks at parks, cast backs, and like all this crazy stuff. While James underscore Northeast is doing dubs, all these hard twisting combos, and recently landed Snatch Cannon, which is insane. And then I DM you your YOLOFlow7 account just to make sure you guys are the same people. And then I was just like mind blown that like you guys are actually the same people.
Dude, I
And
can't tell you how many people have asked me that same question. Like, it's crazy.
yeah, I thought it was just kind of funny to mention. So, uh, I watched a ton of your older samplers and stuff, and how important was trampoline towards your progression? Like
Dude,
how
extremely. Like, I would not have any air awareness or like tech if it weren't for tramp. Like, I just wouldn't. It's how I learned to twist, obviously. Like, that's pretty important. It's how I learned to do double flips. That's pretty important too. And other moves will just randomly translate to certain freerunning moves. Like Cody is pretty similar to castback, and that's helpful, obviously. You can do Kong Gainer on Tramp. Like Tramp is, I don't know, Tramp is amazing. It's pretty safe. You can try anything, and it gives you mad air awareness. I don't know. Tramp is the way. Everybody should do it. If you're not
yeah,
doing
for
tramp, you're
sure.
missing out.
So when you first started and so now, do you have anybody that inspires you that you look up to, like
Yeah,
specifically?
I mean Ethan Klickstein. I still train with him a lot. Still inspires me from the day that I met the dude. He like tries the craziest shit. Sometimes I just like it's hard for me to imagine how he does a lot of the things he does. So that
Yeah,
definitely inspires me. Sean inspires me too because he's got a cool process when he trains, which I get to see and kind of makes me want to do things the same way as him. So yep, those are people that have pretty much been inspiring me since I started like training around them.
did you train
Alfred
a lot
inspires
with
me too. Sorry?
did you train a lot with like Team Dodo and like the Sandy Banana gang and stuff?
Dodo, I didn't train with them, but well, I mean, sometimes I did, but like it was more that they were just at the same gym at the same
Okay.
time. Like there were a lot of people at this gym, like 20, 30 people sometimes in a session. So it's like you're not like I was just always on the floor with the trickers, and Dodo might have been like in the back on the parkour section or like on the tramp or something. Also, they usually went to different open gyms than me, but yeah, regardless, I saw them pretty often, but didn't like actually talk to or train with them too often at first anyway. So
Okay.
yeah, but it's still cool
Um,
just seeing them, and seeing the videos they would make at that gym and being like, bruh, like I wish I was there doing that too.
yeah. Like who you surround yourself with is just gonna like make you better.
Yeah.
Uh, this is a really big question. So this more relates to your tricking specifically,
Mhm.
but at what point did you feel like you started to break through and like level up the most in your career?
I don't think at any point that was like breaking through, honestly. I was pretty consistent because I didn't get injured very much, and if I did, it wasn't too bad. And I just trained. I didn't like stop or take any breaks. I just trained at the same frequency, like a few times a week, and that was for like 4 years maybe. So yeah, I never like had any slumps or like had any point where I was leveling up mad hard. It was pretty consistent, which I think is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Usually when I talk to people, they're always like, I've had a big injury and like I wasn't able to progress for some certain period amount of time. And it's good that you're able to like level up consistently and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, so you're always doing like really high impact tricks and like very difficult tricks. So do you keep your body under maintenance by like working out or like conditioning at all?
No, no, I don't. I
Why
don't
not?
even stretch. Probably should though. Um, the only conditioning I've ever done was just now because I broke my ankle like a few weeks ago. That stuff, it's the worst injury I've ever had. Not to say that it's like catastrophically bad. I've just never had anything that was that bad. So this is the first one where I actually had to like do some physical therapy and shit. I guess I used to have lower back pain from doing so many swings and twisting. Like your lower back gets messed up from that. A lot of trickers have that problem. And then I did physical therapy, so that was kind of bad. That stopped me from doing stuff. But like I never condition or stretch like regularly, which is probably a bad thing, but yeah, we out here.
I'm surprised because like you're so powerful in like all your tricks, and yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you do tricks that require power, you will get powerful without having to do lifting and stuff. Like, yeah, I started off pretty weak too. Like, or not weak, but I just didn't jump nearly as high. And I just kept doing tricks that like you wouldn't really do unless you had a lot of power. I just did it with better technique instead. But then eventually I developed the power on my own. So, yep, I think that's the way. Like, lifting's probably pretty good, but I don't know if you should rely on lifting for like all of your jumping power.
yeah, a lot of it's like tech, especially with tricking and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I was listening to a podcast with Flip Like Z, and he said the same thing. Like he doesn't really work out or anything. He just like does flips, and he's super good at it. So
Nope.
yeah, uh,
That's the Boston way.
because with these questions, I'm mostly basing it off your tricking because that's what I know you the most. So, what's your favorite tricking gathering that you've ever been to?
Probably Neo. Do you know Neo?
Yeah, for sure.
Northeast Ohio. It's just really big and everybody there throws down. That's kind of the point of it. So, yeah, that's what I like. It was really fun. Like, I got to meet so many people both years that I went. There's like at least 100, 200 people that go. Um, Massive floor. Like, there's 3 floors. One of them's outdoors too. So you can pretty
Okay.
much just train the whole time, and it's a good time.
I was planning to go to Neo this year, but and all these major gatherings too, but COVID-19 just destroyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm seriously missing NAPC this year as well.
Oh
Not
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
but
sure.
yeah.
One of the big gatherings are really, oh, it's not too big, but I wanted to go to Vertigo Gathering and meet you and Kyle Skelly and like a bunch of the East Coast triggers and that. That would be really cool, but
I was
man,
gonna go to that, yeah, but damn, yeah. I mean, hopefully next year this isn't as much of a problem. I could go for a
yeah.
long time.
Um, so we're almost done here, and I just have just some questions that doesn't relate to movement, just to um, we'll get to know a little bit more about you. So, do you
Sure.
have any like low key hidden talents or hobbies that you do outside of tricking or free
I
running and
mean,
parkour?
like, not really. I don't even have that many hobbies outside of parkour. I do like some computer programming stuff, but that's mostly for school. I do computer science in school, and I do some gaming, but like when I'm able to train and healthy, don't I don't do much of either of those things. But I guess but now they're coming out more because I can't. So yeah, a lot of gaming. I'm not in school, so that's pretty much all I've been doing. Oh well. Also
Yeah,
jumping
yeah,
into water. That's still free running though, so I don't know.
yeah. Like whenever you're injured, just work on other things and stuff.
Yeah,
I got just a weird scenario for you.
sure.
So it's just a dumb scenario. So let's say there's a zombie apocalypse happening, and you're the first person at Walmart, and you have a shopping cart. What are the first 5 things you're gonna grab before everybody comes in and steals everything from Walmart?
Okay, first 5 things. I feel like that they're not going to be. This is not going to be a good answer. Let me think though. I mean, some kind of weapon. So maybe one of those nice kitchen knife sets. um, some duct tape because I feel like that's a cliche thing that people get for like survival situations. I don't know what I'd actually use it for, but other people get it. So that's 2. Um, Maybe Swiss Army knife. That's a little cliche as well, and I already have a knife, but that would be helpful for sure. Okay, two more things. Hmm. I can't think of anything besides like more weapons. What would I want? I guess. Oh, bicycle. If I was at Walmart, and oh, unless I had my car with me, I'll just say bicycle though. Need to get away.
Yeah, for sure.
Good one. Unless they have, I don't think they sell like mopeds at Walmart, but that would be next best option. Um, Number five, I would buy. Do I have a budget, or can I literally
You
buy
literally
it?
can just grab anything because it's free. It's a free for all.
All right, good point. Um, Maybe a blowtorch, another weapon.
Sweet.
Yep,
Yeah.
there it
All
is.
five weapons. Oh no,
Yep,
actually four weapons.
four. Yeah, maximum safety.
So I have two more questions, and this question is, what are your future goals? Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, whether it's parkour related or just like life related?
Hmm. Well, I just pretty much want to continue doing flips and not get wrecked to the point where I can't do flips anymore. That's that's like number one priority. If I can still do flips, I don't care that much about what else happens. Like school, could care less, honestly. Um, I'm gonna try to finish it, obviously. I'm about to be a sophomore, so like got a long ways to go. But as long as it doesn't like interfere with flips somehow, which I don't think it will, then I'll stay on that. So I guess maybe I'll have a computer science job, maybe. But mostly I just want to keep training the way I currently am. So that's my future goal. It's hard to do based on the fact that not that many people actually are able to do it. Like if you go to college, like a lot of people come out and then they don't train anymore. They just like work and do other muggle stuff. So my goal is to continue doing flips.
Yeah, for sure. Same here. And I'm doing computer science degree as well. And
Oh, cool.
I just don't want it to like just like to give up on my flips and stuff and completely do computer science. I want to find like a balance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, um, yeah. And the last question here today is, how important is parkour to you, and why do you enjoy doing it so much?
That's a good one. Well, parkour is important to me because pretty much all that I got, like at the moment, or actually for the last like 7 years, it's all that I got. Like, I don't do any other sports, and like I already said, I don't have a ton of other interests that would really like hold me up if I stopped doing parkour for some reason. So, that certainly makes it important for me. Like, if I didn't do parkour, I'd probably be like super depressed. Um, so there's the But why I actually like parkour is because you can, it's mostly just freedom. Pretty cliche answer because everybody says it, but like it's true. You can do literally whatever you want, and nobody's like judging you or anything because it's only about you, what you want to do. So that's my favorite aspect of parkour. Also, I like the community. Another
Yeah,
cliche answer, but like because it's small, like everybody's your friend basically, and you can like reach out to anybody else who does flips and they'll help you out. So that's another good reason. Those are both answers that like everybody would say, I think. So nothing special, but like they're true. So those are probably my two favorite things about parkour.
yeah. Uh, the when you talk about freedom, like there's just like park concept of like a parkour vision and like what you could possibly do if you're looking at this ledge or like if you're looking at this
Yeah.
wall. Like it's like nobody can really understand it unless you actually like do parkour and just like it's just really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. It's a lot like skateboarding, I guess. Like you can just see one spot and then whatever like whatever you can think of on that spot is what you can do, Like there's nothing else limiting you besides like your imagination, which is so cliche. Oh my God. But that's what makes it cool. And
Yeah.
like you get influenced by what other people do too. It's not just like your imagination, it's also other people's imagination that are there with you. So that makes it interesting as well.
All right, that's pretty much all the questions I have for today. And I hope to meet you someday. We got to do I want to do a backflip check or do a trick with you or something. That'd be
Dude,
cool.
hell yeah. Make some
Uh,
viral TikTok content.
I don't use TikTok. I think
Me,
it's banned now.
really?
I'm not sure. I think it's banned. I gotta check on.
Wow. That was fast. I heard about that like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Like that it might be banned. No, it is. Probably a good thing.
yeah, very good thing. So yeah, I hope to meet you someday, and thank you for coming on the podcast. And
Thanks
yeah,
for having me.
hope your future endeavors go good, and have a nice day.
You too. Thanks.